Hello, Chanel here. So I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit. Yeah. So I don't know what I want to, well, I know what I want to talk about, but how to start talking about it, I don't know. So I think when you're young, I was watching Joyce Myers this morning. She comes on the church channel, no, the INSP network on Fios at 9 o'clock, I think Monday through Friday. And she was talking about offense, taking offense. And something that she said really resonated with me. And it was about when you're young, it's easy to stray from the church or not want to go to church or not read the Bible and things of that sort. And the real reason is because you don't want anyone to control your life. You really don't want any boundaries, and you don't want to listen to anyone when it comes to don't do this, don't do that. Like being let's say 17-year-old, and you out there, you got a boyfriend, y'all having sex or whatever, and then the Bible's telling you no, you can't do that. You don't want that guilt to be going to church and then going and having sex with your boyfriend and have to deal with those feelings. So it's easy to stray. For me, I always thought church was very boring and I would fall asleep. So that's why I didn't want to go. And another thing was my mother would always force us to go to church. And being a teenager and being forced to do anything, naturally I feel like you'll rebel. You'll not want to do it. So, yeah, that's what happened. But then I think this past year, I've really been aware of how God has been working in my life. And I'm young. I have 2 children. And statistically, I really wouldn't be where I am today, or I shouldn't be where I am today according to statistics. But with God working in my life, I've been able to achieve my goals. So I'm 20-something years old, a college graduate. I have my Bachelor of Science degree. I'm a registered nurse. Yes, young little baby old me. I'm an RN. I'm very proud of that achievement. So I've accomplished what I need to accomplish at this time. The only thing my husband and I need to do now is buy a home, and that's the next step. We have our own place. We're happily married in an apartment. But yeah, I think it's all about looking around and realizing what God has done for you and being grateful for what you have and appreciate it. And there were a couple of things that I think really helped me begin to notice how God was working in my life. So the first thing was, I was talking to someone whom I love, and she was my high school English teacher. Her name is Kathy. And she would talk about sending my husband and I CDs. And I always told her, like, I want to get back in church. It's been in my heart for a couple of years now. I want to find a church home for my family and I. I want my children to grow up and know God. So I bought this book off of Amazon, and I can't remember the name. Hopefully I can get it and put it down in the comment section or somewhere, maybe in the description box. And that book taught me about the Bible. And reading that book, and maybe over the course of a day or two, I was able to learn more about God than I ever did going to church. And I went to church from 1995 until I was like 17. I mean, active in church. I was part of children's church. I was part of the choir. I was on the dance group, the youth group, all that stuff I was in. And ask me anything about the Bible, I could never tell you. But now that I'm in my early 20s, I really, and I read that book. And then there were a couple of things. So I read this book by a Christian woman. I can't remember the name of the author, but the name of the book is Write It Down, Make It Happen. And as I was reading that book, what I found was that there was a part missing until I got to the chapter where she started bringing God into the picture. Like writing down your goals. And when you write things down, if you look around, you start to notice things just naturally start to happen for you to achieve that goal. Then she has a chapter in the book where you can write letters to God. And that has been my latest thing, writing my Dear God letters. So, I went on a job interview thing, and I got this book, right? So I went looking for a book so that I could really start writing my Dear God letters in one place. I found some place. I was writing them down like in my notebooks during class. Like class would be really boring, or something would just come to me, and I just start praying about it through my letters to God. Dear God, thank you for X, Y, and Z. I pray that you help me achieve X, Y, and Z. And let me give you, here's my testimony. All right, so my last semester of nursing school, which was this spring, I had 3 classes, and this was my easiest semester yet. I was doing really, really good, right? And I wanted to get this specific job, and for this specific job, I needed to have a 3.5 GPA. Now, so I need to have my 3.5 GPA. Well, my GPA at the time overall was a 3.43. So I really needed to get all A's this semester, which has never ever happened for me in nursing since I began the nursing program. I need to get all A's in order to achieve this goal. Well, I was doing my clinical rotations. I was telling my my preceptor this, and she's like, "You ain't gonna get no all A's," because I know when I was in nursing school, I didn't get all A's. So that pushed me even harder to go. Well, at the end of the semester, I calculated my grades, and lo and behold, technically, I was not supposed to get all A's. Grades came in, Chanel got all A's, made a 3.51 overall GPA. That was God. That was God. That was something, after reading, write it down, make it happen. That was something that I wrote down. That was something I was writing my letters to God. That was something I was praying about, asking God, God, please let me get this GPA so I can get this job. And God made it happen. I believe that when you really want something, you have to do the work, right? You do your part and God will do his. I really believe that's how it works. So I know I pray for what I want. I work towards it. I do what I need to do. I don't just sit here and say, well, God's going to bless me and it's going to happen. No, I have to do something to get to that. For example, I wanted to be a nurse. Now, if I didn't get my behind up and apply to nursing school or do whatever I need to do to get into nursing school, find childcare, do whatever, I couldn't make this happen. I can give you so many ways now that looking back, I can see how God worked in my life and God really blessed me. When I got into the nursing program and I was actually starting the clinical phase of my program, I had a 5-month-old baby and I didn't have any childcare. So I had 2 children, and my oldest daughter, I had applied for her to get into a Head Start program. Well, I applied in May, and there was a freeze at that time. So 1 week before school starts, I get a phone call. There's an open space and she can start. Bam, God worked in my life to achieve this goal. Then I had an issue finding childcare for the baby because I couldn't find any daycares with open spaces that would take someone who was 5 months old. Right by my house, in my neighborhood, walking distance, I found somebody who could watch her. And this person, my daughter's 2 now, she's still there, and I love her to death. The lady doesn't speak any English, but she's like family to me. She's like she is my family. I love her. She treats my daughter so well. So those are a couple ways God has worked in my life. And something else I was writing down, like, God, please find me a job. I want to work in one of the top New York City hospitals, yada, yada, yada. I know I got this job. I went on in June. I was invited out to this specific hospital to a new graduate recruitment event. And I got a call. I interviewed the director of nursing, and then I got to interview with the nurse manager on the floor. And she said she really liked me. Don't worry, blah, 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 blah. I know this job is mine. And that's something else I learned. You have to claim things, and you need to act positive. Don't let the negative thoughts get in your head. Say stuff like, Lord, I thank you for this job. That's what I write down. Thank you for this job because I know it's mine. Although they didn't call me yet, but I know it's mine. This is my job. Don't play. It's mine. Yeah. So that's some things. And let me tell you what I've been doing lately to help uplift my faith, or strengthen my faith, I should say. Because I'm still a baby Christian. Because I'm really new to all this stuff. I started reading the Bible. I've taken a break. Why? No real reason. Like, I can't give you any real excuse. If I'm gonna say something, I'll say it's because it's very hard to read, And it was a point recently where I was feeling guilty, like, Chanel, you really shouldn't just be relaxing. You should be reading your Bible. And I think reading the Bible is extremely important. But what I found was that watching the church channel and the INSP network on Fios has helped me with my faith and helped me get the food for my soul that I need. So that's what I've been using right now. But I'm absolutely going to finish reading the Bible one day, hopefully in the near future, because I learn a lot. It's not like I don't feel like I have to go to church now. I would love to go to church and find a nice church home. But I feel like I get the food for my soul that I need through watching this. Watching, the TV. I'm so sorry. I'm looking at this video. It's 10 minutes. Hopefully this gets posted. I think I should post it, but I think that's what I'll keep doing, like videos on how I uplift my faith and get to where I need to be. I'm trying to find, I'm sorry that I'm looking, here it is. So this is a book that I started reading today, or started back reading today. I had started it before and I stopped. It's called, what is it called? The Wisdom of Florence Scovel Shinn, or Scovel Shinn, however you say it. She's a Christian, and in her book, she quotes a lot of Bible verses, and I love that. That's food for my soul. And it's about it's what, three books in one. It's The Game of Life, Your Word is Your Wand, and The Secret Door to Success. So if you do decide to buy this book, to buy her books, just buy this one book, because I ended up buying The Game of Life separately and The Secret Door to Success separately, but I just gave them away. Yeah, I just gave them away. But I'm going to read this book, and maybe I'll come here and do a little book review on it and how it helped me. So I hope that I can grow into a more mature Christian in the near future, and I hope that this helps anyone. So, yeah, alrighty. Bye-bye. Until next time, I'm out. Chanel.